Hi all. So in this video we'll be seeing about what is 4KB boundary and why do we have this in the AXI protocol. So the 4KB boundary, it is a strict rule applied to the burst transaction to simplify the hardware design and address decoding. So first let us try to understand what this 4KB actually means. So this actually means 4KB, 4 kilobytes, which effectively is like 4 into 1024, which is 4096 bytes, which in hexadecimal is like 1000 bytes in hexa. So typically the boundaries kind of occurs from 0 to triple F and 1000 to 1 triple F, 2000 to 2 triple F. So how do we know that any address is aligned, right? So when we say 4 KB, so 4 is like 2 square and K is like 2 power 10. So if you see that, it is like 4K is effectively 2 square into 2 power 10. So bytes. So since it is a byte addressable memory, we do not convert this byte into 2Q, and effectively this actually comes out to 2 power 12 bytes. So basically these 12 bits is used to see whether the address is aligned or not. So in case these 12 bits are all zeros, in that case we can say that particular address is aligned to the 4KB boundary. So that is why the we see that in all these addresses where 0, 1000 and 2000, the last 12 bits or the LSB 12 bits are all zeros. So in this way we see that these addresses are addresses aligned to the 4KB boundary and can be the start of a 4KB region. So if any address starts somewhere in between these addresses and goes beyond these 0 triple F, in that case we say that the 4KB boundary is kind of violated, and we will have to split those bursts into two parts. So what does crossing a 4KB boundary mean? A burst crosses a 4KB boundary if any beat after the first access access an address outside the initial 4KB region. So let us see the start address is FF8 and the beat size is 4 bytes and the number of beats are 4. So the first address is FF8. So in the second beat, plus 4 bytes will become FFC, and FFC plus 4 bytes is FFD, FFE, FFF, and then it reaches 1000. So this is the 4KB boundary. So it cannot increment 2004 since this is crossing the 4KB boundary. So this is kind of illegal in AXI. So this three beats needs to be transported as a separate bus, and this 1004 needs to be transported as a separate burst. So which are the bursts which are affected by the 4KB rule? It does not, the fixed burst does not get affected due to the 4KB rule. But in case of the increment and ramp, these are affected by the 4KB rule. So we'll just see why the fixed burst can cross the 4KB boundary. Because in this case of fixed burst, the address never gets changed. So even in this case of FF8, because the address remains the same in each and every beat in the case of fixed, so it does not cross the 4KB boundary and it remains intact within the 0 to triple F range, and that is why the fixed burst, the 4KB rule does not have any impact. Since no new address is generated, no boundaries crossed, even if the data spans more than 4KB logically. So that's all we had with respect to the 4KB boundary rule. Thank you all.